Quebec Labor Report. I would love to hear how Sam navigates conversations about Israel within his family, how he deals with pro-Israel perspectives from people close to him as a secular Jew. I've struggled for a long time trying to understand how people in my family who are otherwise smart, good people involved in their communities can endorse apartheid. I'm also getting tired of it. It's a complicated issue, excuse a lot of Jewish people use to avoid taking a position. I mean, I can tell you that I go in two different modes. One is I don't care about convincing them, and I just argue hard at them, and as a way of like saying like I'm too, like I can't be bothered with you, and so I'm going to just throw all of this at you. But the other way, the way that I try and turn people is accept the premise that it's important that there is a state of Israel, and then say that the actual threat from Israel is American Jews who do not use their political power to constrain the actions of the Israeli government. And I put it on there like where we agree, we want to avoid, we have the same goal, and then I just start to argue with them that the way they're approaching that goal is actually detrimental. And in fact, Bibi Netanyahu would back me up on this in the sense that he knows that he tried to turn the right-wing government in Israel to basically appeal to the Republicans and the Christian Zionists, because they know that 70% of the Jewish population, maybe 75% of the Jewish population votes for Democrats and is far more ambivalent toward what Israel does than the Christian Zionists. And I would argue that that remaining 25% of American Jewry needs to come out and have America constrain the Israeli government's worst impulses. Like, So you frame the, Israeli right as an existential threat to Israel itself, which is, also true. I genuinely
it's true.
believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, because what's going to happen, I believe, is that in 10 years or so, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, the Democratic Party is going to be in favor of, if not cutting funding to Israel, making it contingent upon a set of requirements that increasingly will recognize Palestinian rights. And Israel will become a pariah state. It will become like South Africa, but it may have and may perceive ways out of it that are far more destructive ultimately to Israel and involve a lot more. I mean, so that's basically it. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
That's a good question, and I think a helpful answer probably for a lot of people.
Sometimes you got to be a little strategic and hold back. You don't need to convince them of everything, particularly in that first conversation.